All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of What's What VR. We have again with us today, we have Sarah back with us from Kid Possible. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm good. We're keeping up. We're busy. We got good weather, and it's weird. It's now 3 weeks ago. It was 10 degrees. Now it's 80 degrees. I can't, keep up with what's going to happen. So
I tell you, it's getting me excited about the summer because that means that's what's coming next, which is great.
I picked up kids from or dropped off and hung out at soccer practice at a park, and one of the parks actually already had a pool open and people in it.
Wow.
And so I
Yeah,
was
bodes
kind of
well for us,
shocked.
which is good.
Yeah. So the good thing people are ready, it seems, and that's I was afraid that with all this COVID mess over the that it was going to be even once we got through the rocky parts, or it's debatable I guess if we are or not, but was it going to be a mental, like another mental, like it was going to take a long time for people to really kind of get back. I think they're moving, at least here, South Louisiana, they're moving a lot faster. It seems like everywhere else. I think everybody's ready to get their kids out of the house, get to summer. Let's move on.
And I guess,
So
it's kind of funny because, like, in my perspective, is we ran all 10 weeks last summer with a full camp and wait lists, and we had no issues and a great summer. So to me, it's not even on my mind of what it's going to look like. I'm like, let's just start.
it's it's funny you said we did a couple round tables and we talked with a bunch of people, about camp, summer camp, and then so many people were asking, and we still get, parents, and that's, we've got the camp fair coming up this week, or next week. But people keep asking, like, is there going to be summer camp? And I'm like, last year, everybody had like 45, days to figure it out. We've had a whole year of this, we've had plenty of practice. We're in a better spot than we were last year. Of course, there's going to be camp, this summer. So
Absolutely.
in that vein, give us for anybody who doesn't know from before, tell us a little about Kid Possible and kind of what you are doing over there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So I am founded Kid Possible 6 years ago, and this is really my passion. Growing up, I went to summer camps my entire childhood. My parents worked full time. So, I mean, from the week after I got out of school until I went back, I got to experience all the summer camps had to offer. And the nice part about that is I really got to invest in and learn the things that I loved about camp, that I looked forward to and woke up wanting to do. And then the things that maybe weren't so much of my interest or didn't really encourage me to want to attend. So I also had the opportunity to direct and then also staff camps throughout my college years. And a little bit after. And so I really got the experience from the back end too of what I wanted in a camp. And so I took all of the positive experiences that I had, all of the memories that I made, and created Kid Possible. And so I always like to just tell parents and share with families that every single aspect of the day, from the way that we welcome you in the morning, the experiences your child's going to have, the way that I communicate with parents, every single aspect of it means something to me and the staff. Um, and we just really invest everything we have into making sure that even if it looks different, even if last summer looked different than the year before, and this summer is going to look different than 2 years ago or last year, it is going to be an incredible summer filled with memories and a lot of learning experiences and new adventures for the kids. Um, so yeah, I mean, every week is kind of different. We do run for 10 weeks. We have 2 locations. And so our one location is at Jefferson Methodist Church, and our other location is at St. Luke's Episcopal School. Um, and our St. Luke's location will be running for 9 weeks. Our Jefferson location will be running for 10 weeks. But we are rocking and rolling with the registration and ready to get started.
That's what you mentioned. Things might look different in the drop off. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were explaining how much things changed and how things are closer back to normal. But they were like, I don't think we're gonna keep the drop off. Drop your kid, parents, you're not coming in. They were saying that actually worked so much better, and they wanted to keep some of the processes that they had to go through so that
Absolutely.
it was easier. So
Absolutely. No, that is the truth. And, I've thought a lot about different things that just, it pushes you to be creative and try new things that maybe you wouldn't have just. Well, what I always like to say is typically in a year, we like to try 2 to 3 new things. Last year, we tried about 40 different new things. And so, out of those 40, I would say 32 or so made the cut to come back.
right.
There's some that we will be luckily leaving in the past, but no, that the remote check-in is something we introduced too, and it's digital check-in, which includes a questionnaire, medical questionnaire regarding the health of everyone in the family. And that was honestly such a great thing because no matter what in the world, people are going to feel under the weather from time to time. And it just gave us an opportunity to really talk to the parents and understand where the kids were at when they came in the building, which we would never have known 2 years ago, unless a parent told us. So to me, that was it's such a nice thing to have now and to implement into the program. So yes, we will continue doing that. And yes, the remote check-in will continue to exist.
That's a lot of people have liked that. So tell me, so you guys have gone and taken the good from all the different areas of camp, and made, good equals great, great experiences. People are, like we said before, people are having summer camp. I've talked to people widely about it. We've got camp fair actually happening next week. With that, being said, are you seeing registration happening sooner, or do you think parents are waiting, or, what does that look like? Because it seems like some people are going, well, I'm going to wait and see what happens. I think we turned a little bit of a corner this week when we moved to phase 3, and it kind of maybe pushed people in a little bit, or they see, hey, we are going in the right direction. But I'm hearing from some people that's like, no, we're filling up fast. Like it's get in, while you can.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go out and say that I think we're definitely seeing a very drastic increase. I mean, so typically I start registration mid-January, early January. But I was kind of really waiting to see if I could gain a little more insight or information about kind of what the vaccine rollout was going to look like. So I held off till February 1st this year. And it did allow us to really, I think, set ourselves up for a great summer doing that. And so I started February 1st. Right now, we are almost 70% full at both of our locations. One of our locations is 90% full. Our other location is about 50% full. So, I mean, we've got, and it depends on the weeks. Our weeks are registration week by week. So, I mean, I can't speak on the whole of the summer, but definitely check our website and you'll be able to see kind of which weeks have openings still. And then I always encourage people to also join the waiting list because we all know with kids and with life, things come up all the time. And I go through the waiting list as soon as the spot opens up. So I highly encourage you, if you do visit the site and you see that a week's full, jump on the wait list.
And I always pointed out to people, just as we've talked with parents over camp, the wait list is not as bad as you might think it might be, because it's not like you're going on a wait list like with a school, for instance. A school, people get on the wait list. Most people, they decide they enroll in school, they're done, they've got a wait list. Maybe there's spots up here and there, a few and far between. But sometimes on the camp side of things, it's not that somebody's, oh, we're not going to go to camp. It's like, oh, the child's sick. It's not even COVID sick. It's we just got a stomach bug and they're not coming this week, and there's a spot that opens up. So,
well, there's so many reasons. I mean, I think one of the most common ones, which I think is going to happen a lot this summer, which is wonderful, is that I think a lot of grandparents are going to be coming in to visit. They haven't seen them in a long time, and maybe, things change. They are able to come visit. And that's a common one. They find out the week before that they have family coming in town or anything else, and they just would rather, take advantage of that time. And so they don't come, or, they're not able to attend that week. So there's a whole plethora of reasons. So yeah, that's why. I mean, I say fully
I
take
think
advantage.
you'll get a lot of. I think you'll get a lot of people going to the beach this
That too.
summer. I
Yeah.
think I've always said, Baton Rouge is a town when we start getting, from June till August, 30% of the town's at the beach or going to the beach next week is,
Yeah.
it's always talking to somebody. Can't get anything done. Well, I'm going to the beach. We'll deal with it when we get back. So,
Yep.
but
That's the
tell me, you do something a little bit, I want to say, not or different than most, when it comes to staffing. You take a different approach to staffing than maybe some of the other camps do. So
Yeah,
what's, kind of fill us in here.
absolutely. I love to share about our staff because I really feel like our staff is what makes us different. So our staff, every single member of our staff is over the age of 18 at a minimum. They must be pursuing a degree in a childhood related field. What that means is it could be a degree in elementary or secondary education, it could be a degree in social work with a focus on pediatrics, psychology with a focus on pediatrics, physical therapy. I mean, but all of these individuals are truly invested in the development of the kids. So, and that's what I like to share is I think oftentimes when you hear a childhood related field, people assume it's educators. Um, and that's not the case. I mean, these individuals come together and they all love the kids for a plethora of reasons. I mean, and they're invested in their development for a plethora of reasons. I mean, so it's neat to be able to see a team come together. And if we're ever facing a challenge or how to address something, I've got people from so many different aspects of, you know, careers and experiences that when we come together, it really is a powerhouse of people. And the biggest piece of feedback I get from parents, this is pre-COVID, so let me preface it with that. But when people used to be able to come in the facility on a normal basis, parents would always come in and say, "Oh my gosh, they're actually like talking to the kids." And I would say, "Yes." Like our staff knows your children. They know what they like. I get feedback all the time. If I schedule something, they'll say, I really don't think my group, this, I know my kids, this doesn't really fit with their personalities. And so I tell them something that I've actually started recently, just from, again, trying something new, is that the staff does know their kids so well that I have now implemented a period where they get to come up with at least one activity a week that they know would fit their kids that week. So it's not anything anyone else is going to be doing in the camp. It's something that fits those kids, that piques their interest, that they get to do as a group.
Huh.
So I'm really excited about that because, I mean, it just speaks to how well we know them. And it's a
Well,
memory that they're going to get.
well, it's funny that you mentioned, it's not exactly a correlation, but Google, not many people may know, maybe not, but Google allows, I think the last I heard, it's either 10 or 20% of your work week to work on a project all of your own, to build something, that you believe in. And a lot of their products have come out of that. Like for Gmail was a product, that someone had just worked on their own. So they thought, hey, we need a better, email. We need something better. And it lets people take that ownership. It's like, hey, these are my kids. I've been with them all week. I know what they're doing. We talked about this, and maybe they work it, as a whole. And I think that's, the fact that they're, older. My wife and I, we had owned a swim club a couple of years back, and we had to deal with some of those younger, lifeguards and concession stand workers, and we would get the calls, 10 minutes after a shift would start. It's like, hey, we're going to the trampoline park. I'm not coming in today. It's like, no, you can't. You've got to come to work. And so
well, that's exactly right. And I mean, I just like to say too, like, they're not there to be friends with each other. And my goal is to create a cohesive team that enjoys working together. But they also know that while they're at work, their focus is the kids. And I give them plenty of opportunity. I mean, one of my things is I really try to get back to the staff as much as I can, because that's what makes a difference for everyone involved. And I do stuff with them on a very regular basis throughout the summer, where it does allow them to socialize in an appropriate setting, not while they're at work, which is great. But I can't say enough positive things about the people that we have on our team.
Well, I think that makes a difference when you've got good staff that's interested, in the kids and not their phones or huddling over in a corner and just kind of keeping an eye, him there, it sounds like they're really hands on and come up with things to do, with them. So that makes a night and day difference. And I think that's going to make the kids feel like they want to go because I know my kids, they've got, they look up to or they like some of these, teachers and counselors that they work with, and they get excited because they're actually having a conversation with a grown up in their mind, all day.
Absolutely.
So what ages are you taking,
Yeah. So our age range is 5 to 12.
Okay.
So as long as and I know some children turn 5, obviously turn 5 throughout the summer. And so what I always just tell parents is you don't have to be 5 by our first day of camp. You just have to be 5 by the time that they attend. So per se, they turn 5 July 1st, they would be eligible to attend all of the July sessions. Does it make sense? That's a common question. Our upper age range is 12. So we do 5 to 12.
Okay. And what is it? Does it look like this year is going to be more activity based locally there, or do field trips exist? Do people come in?
Yeah.
Are you there yet, or is it still we're figuring that one out?
So I feel good about this, and this is one of the things I was really waiting on for that February 1st. I wanted to feel, some confidence in it, and I do. So throughout the week, we have a theme for each week. We have art and science activities that are focused on the theme. We have a chess master that comes in and teaches them to play chess. We have a soccer instructor who comes in and teaches them soccer once a week. We have on-site field trips. So what we did this year is half of our field trips are on-site and half of our field trips are off-site. So on the weeks that we're on-site, we have some great partners who came on last year too. And I mean, we just can't say enough good things about them, but like the Knock Knock Museum, Barn Hill Preserve, just really good groups that are super engaging and that the kids love. And then we also have culinary kids from Mandeville coming in and doing a cooking class with them on site. So just a lot of very neat things happening while we're on site. And then our off-site field trips, we're going to go back to what we were doing before, which is charter buses. So we have charter buses with seatbelts, air conditioning, restroom on board. The kids will still be in their small groups. So we're going to do shifts kind of where the bus will come on site, pick up 3 groups of kids who will be in their small groups wearing masks on the bus with a couple of rows between each group. They will take them to the location that we're going to that week. They will get their activities started. And we have extra staff that will be there during those days to make sure that there's plenty of staff on site with them as well. And then the bus will go back and pick up the rest of, the second group of kids. They will eat lunch, they'll do everything else, and then we'll switch basically while cleaning the bus in between. So we're excited about it. It's going to be great to be able to get kind of back into those field trips that all the kids love and the staff loves. And it really just exposes the kids to so many new different things. It's going to be great. So we're excited to get back to some offsite field trips. And then we also have on Fridays, we have a talent show. And the weeks that we have on-site field trips, we also have a water slide inflatable. So our talent show on Fridays, again, that's a huge thing that I get tons of feedback on. I can't tell you how many parents say, I just don't see, Brandon really getting into the talent show. I'm like, okay, well, we'll see what Brandon, so maybe week 1, Brandon is a little, apprehensive about his stardom on the stage. By week 10, I can guarantee you every year I get tons of feedback on the fact that they're like, Brandon has so much, he's so outgoing now and he has so much passion about like speaking in front of people and performing, and they just come out of their shells. And so anyway, so the end of the week really ends on a high note with the talent show, and then we have ice cream right after that.
That's awesome. You'd mentioned, and my mind went back to last year when we were talking. I think I want to say, I think you were the first person you had tracked down, located the fogging machine. I think
Yes.
last year. You were the first person, I think, in town who had pulled that together. And we're talking about, 55-gallon drums
Oh,
of,
yes.
disinfectant. So, is that where we're going to clean the buses with? We still have the fogging machine,
I
or?
mean, we're still going to be, yeah. So we're still going to fog. And like I said, I mean, it's interesting. We started so many new things last year. And I mean, I'm keeping the majority of them just because it can only be positive effects. And so we are going to continue fogging. Um, and like I said, cleaning the buses, cleaning the surfaces, hand washing, frequent hand washing, all of those things, having individual art supplies for each group that are disinfected, all of those things. What I love about it is COVID or no COVID, it keeps kids healthy and coming to camp. And that's what we want. We want everyone there. So no matter what, for years to come, I think we will continue on the same cleaning procedures.
Yeah, I don't think anyone goes back at this point.
No.
It's kind of the world we're in now at this point. So
yeah, which is
no, I think it sounds you got a lot of things going on. You got limited spots, so people need to get in there and grab a spot, as soon as they can.
yeah.
It's I'd say we've worked with each other for years. It's well worth it. One of the things I think that I wanted to bring up, you made a point last year, and I know it's hard to talk about yourself, but you've been very actively involved and directly involved, not just I started and own the camps in there, but you are back and forth taking call, like talking to parents on a regular basis, taking you don't have somebody else that's, doing the admin, side of things.
It's just me. So I really like to say, I mean, I know everyone. I am bringing in someone this year just to help me with some of the billing aspect of it, but like you'll still be talking to me all the time if you call. They're just helping me on the back end, so you won't ever really interact with them. But I arrive at one of the locations at 7 a.m. and I close the other location at 6 p.m. So I'm there all day long between the two locations because my passion is the camp and the kids. And that's what gives me energy, happiness, everything throughout the year. So I spend all of my time with the exception of purchasing supplies. I also do that. So if you ever see me around town, you will see me running around
buying in bulk.
Buying lots of things in bulk. But yes, I am on site all the time. And if you ever call our phone number, which I'll just share with you, it is 225-442-3143. And you can call anytime and I will always answer. I always like to say this is what I love to do. And you can call at night, you can call on the weekends, because I also understand that these things, when you're thinking about them, don't happen 8 to 5. They happen right before you go to bed at night or when you wake up in the morning or on the weekends. And so you can call me anytime you want and I will be happy to talk to you and walk you through the registration process. The nice part is it's all done through our website. So you never have to come on site. You don't have to interact unless, you want to, and I'm happy to do that with you too. But it's all done through our website, which is just kid-possible.com.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking some time, today to kind of fill us in and get everybody up to speed. I know you got a million things to do to get ready, for all of this. It's more bulk to buy, store, package, answer phone calls, that kind of thing. So
well, and I'm looking forward to being in the camp fair next week. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there too. It'll be a good time.
Absolutely. So yeah, everybody doesn't know, it's 19th through the 21st, and we've got live components with it. We've also got some virtual stuff. So if it's 2 a.m., you're still able to get the information you need. And we're getting a lot of positive feedback about it. That people have social media have talked about how hey, I've always wanted to go, but I couldn't get off work, or when I could, I wanted my Saturdays I wanted to just relax, and it was hard to get out there. But now I can do it from the couch. So we're excited to see how it goes. So
I'm looking forward to it too. Well, thank you, Brandon. I really appreciate it. And
absolutely.
Good time.
Well, thanks for swinging in, and we'll have to talk again soon.
All right. Sounds
Thank
good. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.